Hey guys, I am Nishant and welcome to Cybernetico. So in this video, let's try to build the GitHub. So how to start? Just come to GitHub docs. We have this docs.github.com/en. We have developer tab in here, and in developer tab, we have REST API. Click it. It will open up GitHub REST API documentation. So before that, let me show you a few things here. So I have a V tab in here running with Tailwind installed and so DaisyY also and Next.auth as well. So let me configure the Next.auth first. What we can do is come to pages. Okay, not pages. Let me come to pages. Yes, no, not here. Sorry. What we need to do is come to pages. Yes, API Next.auth. Yes, but it is already set. What we can do? Yes, come to env.mjs. First thing we have to do is rename Discord client IDs to GitHub client ID. So let me just make Discord client ID to GitHub client IDs because we are going to use GitHub, not Discord, for login. So replace it. Do same with the secret. So we can say this GitHub client secret. Replace everything. Save. We have client secret from GitHub. But where to use it? Come to env. We have to also replace it here. So we can just say GitHub client secret and GitHub client ID and GitHub client secret. This is how we set up authentication using Next.auth. How to get the client ID and secret? Simple. Come to GitHub. Let me open GitHub. Open repositories or not repo. Open settings at the bottom in here. Then come to developer settings in here. Then we need OAuth apps. So we can use any of these. Let's say, let me create a new app. We can say GitHub 2.0. Homepage URL. Let's make this callback URL. This registered application. Okay, this should not be capital. So just make GitHub 2.0. Now registered it. This should not begin with GitHub and gist. So we can say G 2.0. Fine. I think that's or Git 2.0. Yes, it's created. Now we have to copy client ID, paste it in here in the env file, and generate a new client secret. Let me copy this one, add this in here. We have both of them now, client ID and client secret. So we can now log in. Oh yes, we can. Now what we need to do is, do not close this because we need it later. Just come back to this page here. Come back. Okay, let me come back to setting. 1 second. Where am I? Come to settings, developer. So be here in this page. What we now need is to come to this page and make a button. So we can just come to index in the main tag. Let me search for a button in here, or let me create a component. So make a component folder here called components. We can say one folder here called auth. In the auth folder, we can make a file called index.tsx and one for styling. So to style this, we can just make this as what we can make index.css. Make this a functional component, and okay, this will be, let me name this as auth indicate. Save. Let me import the CSS file in here. Import index, one step back, .css. What I have named it, authenticate. Save them. Will it work like this? Let me come to styles folder. We have global styles. Okay, I think it will work fine. So let me now come to this page called pages index. Let me import auth component, authenticate component, place it in the main tag, save. Okay, I think I forgot that there should be a module. So we can just say auth.module.css. Let me also install SAS, SCSS I mean, npm I SASS. Now we can rename this CSS to SCSS. Let me close the terminal. Now import this as not in pages in index, like they should be import styles from auth module.scss. In the pages we are just returning the authenticate component and we can see the text here. Let me add the button of accent. So just copy button of accent, place it, or let me create a folder in components called common. In the common, let me make common but a folder called button. In the button folder, let me make a file called index.tsx. Make this a functional component. Add the button in here. Save. Let me change this to common. This will get a title, and we will use title on this button as a title. So add it. Let me make a folder called interfaces. Let me make a file for index.tsx. We need to add the button interface in here. So we can say common. I forgot to add interface at the start. So it is taking a value called title, which is a string. So add it in here. Now we need the common button in here. So add it like this type. So let me now get the button in here. Let me also close the env file. Import common button from the route that we are having. Replace authenticate text with the button. We need to pass title. So this should be log in. Check our app. We have the button. We need to pass one more property called, we need to pass, let me close this. So we need to log in with this. So come to Next.auth. Come to, we can say GitHub. In here, we have to also set up the provider for GitHub. So come to pages, API, Next.auth.ts. Let me import the authentication name from the route. Now we need providers. Let me come here. Yes. So if I just come to providers, what I'm doing, let me come to getting started in here. We need to copy this entire thing and just paste it. We need client ID and secret. So we're getting an issue here that they can be undefined. So if I just do as string, same way in here, it will be fine because now they are strings. So we have this. The next step is to have this setup. So in pages app.tsx, they are already done. So if I come to pages app.tsx, yes, they are already done. Set. Now come down. We need to have this component here. So copy this, paste it in the auth. So let me not just paste it, copy the imports and such one by one. So we're importing use session, sign in and sign out from Next.auth React. Then we need a session instance from use session that we're renaming to data. We are renaming data to session. Now we need this. If session is true, it means, let me return it in here. If session is true, it means we are signed in. But if it is not true, it means we are not signed in. We have to sign in. So add this after the return. Save them both and let me rename the button to common button. Okay, this will be a self-closing. What is wrong here? Sign in. Let me just do this. Common button, title, sign out. The same thing in here. This will be this will be sign in. Save them both. Now come to our app. We are saying not signed in and sign in button. So let me just do this. Have a on change or on click event that is like this. Let me have them both. So on the first one, sign out, we are having sign out. Okay, one sec. Yes, so this will sign out and second button will sign us in. So just add it here. Fine. Now we need to add the on-click event in here. Get on-click event and add this on-click event on the button. So on-click as on-click. We also have to add this in the interfaces. So we can make it a function which is returning nothing. So void. Save this as well. Now if I click sign in, we will see the page. Okay, the thing is we need to, okay, we are saying this issue. The issue is in the ANV we are having GitHub client ID and GitHub client secret. But in the Next.js we are having GitHub ID and secret. So just replace them. Now come to ANV again. Let me copy secret one, paste it here. Now if I try again, it will work. Let me come back one way, click sign in, click the button. Yes, authorize Nishant 666. It is working. Now we will see signed in with Nishant as 440@gmail.com. So we have to check what else we are getting as data. So we can just check it in here. Open the console. We are getting the object. So we are getting user, email, image, and name. These things we are getting. We need one more thing, which is called the GitHub username. To get the username, we have to do some extra things. So let me come to components, or let me make a folder called API or APIs. In the folder, let me make a file called get user name.tsx. Add this code. Let me explain what is this or what this does. What this does. So we have this token. We have to replace with our token. It is making the request to this link. We are getting a login data in here. So save. Let me come to GitHub apps that I said not to close before. So open personal access token. Let me click fine grained tokens, or this will also work. So let me generate a new token. This is a name. So we have to just make for GitHub. We need to just choose what we have to have the scope for. We need repos, workflow, this, almost everything. So why don't I come to fine grained tokens and just have a new token. Let me delete the previous token from here. Click generate new token from start. Token name GitHub 2.0. We need to add the date of expiration, that is 30 days from now. We can add 60 or 90 or custom. On it is this. All repos we want to target. Click generate token. The token is here. Copy the token. Replace the token with this your personal access token in here. So this token will go in here and it will fetch you the data of the current user. So if I come to GitHub, if I come to GitHub 2.0, my GitHub, we need this. So we need to run the function. I'm in this GitHub fetch API. Okay, let me just have a function here called const fetch current. Let me add all of these things inside. Let me remove the comments. Yes, so we have to get this fetch current user. Let me export the function as well. Export fetch current user. We have to get it somewhere, which a component that mounts. So in the auth, we are having this. So we are returning this block when we're logged in. So what we can do is make a component. So the component folder will be as, so make a file in here called index.tsx and one for styling. So I can say what should we name this home.module.scss. Let me make the home component as a functional component. Make this as Let me now import the CSS file or a CSS file. So import styles from one step back this file, home module.css. Now let me make a function or just a use effect hook, and in the use effect hook we will just call this function called fetch current user. Call it. We should return a response in here. Let response from this, so it will return us a response which is the login data of the user. Let me just do a console.log of this. Now we need to have the home component returned when we are authenticated from Next.js. So import home from pages. Just replace or just add this or just add or replace this in here. So the issue is we are importing the home that we are using in here, which is the page itself. So we're calling the page, it is calling the auth, and again it's calling the home. So it's like an infinite loop. What we need to do is come to the component of home, make this as a home component, save the file. Now replace the home with home component in the auth. Save, and we will not get that issue. Okay, you have to change the route as well. So we can say component slash home. Save. If I refresh, okay, we have to just open this in a new tab, I guess. Again, now we have no issues. We are seeing this only once. Now I have to close every tab because it was not properly responding because of the infinite loop. Let me open all the things again. GitHub API documentation. Let me open GitHub API documentation. This link. Come to, we have to come in here. We can say quick start. Yes, this is the link. So what we have to do is remove this console log from here. Also remove, or okay, we are also calling this fetch current user in the home page, so it will return in the console. We have this user, okay, not this, line number 8, so it is undefined. Let me close the files that we don't need for now. So we are calling fetch. The thing is, it is undefined because the function in here needs to be asynchronous. So let me come here, make a function called const, I can say get, we can say get current user. Now this function will be a sync function, and we have to just get them in here and await the fetch user or fetch current user function. Just call the get current user in the user effect hook. We are getting the username now, which is Navshant666. Fine. So we will use this as the base of our data. So if I open GitHub and if I click this in here, like we have all this kind of stuff, our repos, our projects. If I open our repositories, we will have Nishant666 question mark tab repositories. So we will have to use it like that. Okay, the next thing is, let me give it a refresh. Let me remove the home text from the div in here for now. So the button of sign out, let me add this on the very top. So the button is in here. Wrap this in a div. Now come in here. Give this div a class name of, I can say, styles.sign_in. Let me grab sign in btn, come to auth module, and then just do position absolute top 20px, right 20px as well. So it becomes on the very right, like it. I will change it later when I make it like this, like the original GitHub. But first, I have to show a few things to you. Let me do that. Now in the GitHub quick start for GitHub REST API, I told you that we were going to use the OctoKit library. So we have to install the OctoKit, like npm install OctoKit. Basically, it is a library that we can use to call GitHub APIs. So let me just add this npm install octokit if I haven't done this already. The next step is to import it somewhere. So let me make an API file in here. In the API folder called, I can say get or get GitHub API or APIs dot tsx. So let me import octokit in here. Let me create a sample function. So let me create a sample function that will say get repos. So this will take a name of the user. We can say username, which is a string. So basically this function will get all the repos of a person of a user using this username. So we have to add the octokit. I mean, we have to create the instance of octokit. So let me do it at the top. We have to pass our token, which is the token just like this GitHub token, the on grain token. So add it in here, save. We have initialized our octokit using the instance of new octokit. We are passing auth and the GitHub token that I made previously. And now this function that we are having should be async as well, as should all the API calls. In here, we have to call a function to get all repos. Let me make this as get all repos or get all user repos of a current user using the username as the, I can say, parameter. So on the left side we have this, I can say, what is it? It is a whatever it is called. So let me come to repositories in here. We have repositories in here as well. So open it. This will open up the page of getting all the data using or all the data related to repositories. We have getting the list of repos of an organization. Then we have creating a repo of an organization. Then we have basically come down getting a repository. So this is owner and a repo, but we don't need a repo. I mean, we don't know the repo name. So come all the way down, just scrolling or keep scrolling. We have delete, we have list repo activities. We have to check if we have automated security fixed or enabled for a repo or not. Enable it, disable it, all this kind of stuff. Repo contributors that we see. Then where is it the thing we need? Get repo language, tags, no. Get repo topics, no, also no. Not transfer. So I think it will be all the way down. List public repos, yes, we are getting close. List repos for an authenticated user, or list or created, no, but we are close. So if I come down, yes, we have this list repositories for a user. We can use this using JavaScript. So we have done this part at the top. Now we have to just call await octokit.request get users. This username will be inside this. And by the way, let me make this as a template literal. Now if I just pass this username inside and add a dollar, this is now a dynamic request that is getting the data of all the repos of this username that we will pass. Let me get this in a response variable. Store the response, and we can just return this response. So let me come to, let's say, index.tsx in the home page. Let me make a button in here. Search for a button. We are just, or I am just showing you how to get this. So if I come, or if I copy accent button, add the button here, or we can use the button that we had already. So I can say common button. We have to pass the title that will be let's say get all repos, and on click this will take an on click event. So let me make it const get repos, just a sample function, and we will use get repos in here on this on click event. Now in this get repos function we will simply pass this function get all user repos. So get all user repos, let me pass Nishant 666. So it is my username. It will give all the repos of me. If I click the button in here, get all repos. So let's try it out. Click it. I guess we have some issues. So let me check. Click it again. Loading. Okay, I think yes, it is here. We're not seeing anything because we're not getting anything returned from it in here. Like we're returning the response, we have to also get it in here. So we can select response equals to this and do a console log of response. Fine. Let me not have this here. Okay, 19. 1 second. Which page is this? Get username. We have to remove a console log from here. So let me just comment it out for now. Now we have to just remove this as well. Just fetch the current user and fine. Click it again. Okay, it is a promise in here. Yes, it is a promise. So make this as a async function and await the return of get all user repos. We don't need the async and await in here because we are having that in that place. So click it again. We are reading the data. We can filter data using this data key. So response dot data. Click it again. Now we are getting 30 repos. So it is listing all my repos in here from GitHub. So what else do we can use? If I check in here, we have the username that is only required in here. Others are not required. So we can say per page, which is the number of items per page. So if I come in here and do this, a question mark per page. So let me make this as 10. Now you will get only 10 repos per head. Click it. See, we are getting this 10 repos. So we have sort as well. We have direction. So sort means how to sort the results. Then default is full name. Then we have created, updated, pushed full name. So let me also use sort in here just to show you. So add an ampersand sort. We can just do the tag of created. Sort equals to created. So it will sort based on the time of creation. Get all repos now. Getting this data. And my final on my first repo is 45.2.0. My latest repo. That is how we call GitHub APIs. That's a sample request. Now let me make the or build the top bar of GitHub. We have dashboard, GitHub icon and so on. So come to the code. Let me just make a common component called top bar. In the top bar, let me just have index file, index.tsx, and one for styling. So top bar .module.css. Let me just have a functional component and this will be top bar. Save. Let me import top bar component, top bar styling file at the top. Not like this, it is a module, so styles this component, I'm in this route. Let me have top bar in the, I can say we don't need this one. So where should we add top bar to be rendered? In the pages we have auth component. In the auth we have, let me save this, we have home component. Home component we have, okay, we can add it here, the top bar from common top bar, return it here, save the top bar. We will now say it in here. The only problem is this should be sticking to the top. So come to top bar. Let me have the class name in here. Class name styles dot top bar. So let me copy top bar class. We can make position as the top bar head is not fixed, so we can make it absolute. It is, I don't know where it is. Okay, it is here, but we cannot see it properly. Then make top as 0, left as 0 as well. Let me add background color as black, or somewhere around this 212121. We cannot see it, but if I add a width of 100%, it will be there. Like, it is not properly visible, but I can see it. So why don't I make the color of this as this? Now I can see it. Let me also change the color of the entire background because it is black. So if I come to pages folder, pages, we have index, we have this main class name with these kind of stuff. We had a bg gradient. This in the styles, let me make a file called home page, or just home dot module dot scss. Let me get in the home page, I mean in this page, import home or import styles at the rate slash styles slash home module dot css or scss. Now let me turn this into a, or let me just remove the entire thing because don't need this in here. We just need styles dot main. Everything is now gone on the top. They are not arranged. So we can say main background color black. Then let me add a height of 100 vh. It is done. The thing only here is we are seeing the all get all repos, so we don't need that button. So come to close auth, come to home, just remove the button because it is not needed for now. So we'll see the top bar in here and the sign out button. So basically we also don't need sign out button for now. We have to create our own, like customize it. So just come to, where is it, auth index. Let me comment this button of sign out. For now we just have top bar that we have to arrange. So what we can do is come to the code, yes, close auth, come to home component, we have top bar here, so this thing we don't need, and this as well we don't need. So we need some height in here. Height, let's make it 40px. Let's see we are having the height properly here or not. Let me increase to 80. Now we have a height. Perfect. Let me remove text from here, which is top bar. Yes, remove it. It has been removed and we have a top bar here. But let me make this to 70. I want to make it as simple, I mean as similar to GitHub. We have a border bottom. Let's say 1px solid. We can say gray. The gray bottom we are having here, border, it is too bright, so make it a little bit darker. Do it. It is dark, but we need more, so make it. Now it is, I guess, perfect. But the color here, make it a little bit more darker. Okay, it's done. We have the black color at the top, and just like that we have the bottom area. Now we have the GitHub icon and the dashboard text in here. So in the top bar, let me make okay, we need to get GitHub icon, so let me grab it from Google. GitHub icon png. We can just get GitHub logos and this from here. Download invert to cat logo. What is the format of this? It is zip. So let me just get the png from here. In the assets folder, do we have it? No, we don't have it. So basically, let me create a folder called assets in the source or src folder. Let me grab the icon of GitHub and paste it in the assets. Okay, not here, in here. Move it. So we can make GitHub icon.png. Let me come to top bar, import GitHub icon from assets, GitHub icon.png. Let me make a image tag in here, img source, img src. Static image data is not assignable to type string. This is different. If I open this in a new image or in a new tab, we can get the link of this. So why don't I just add the source as a link, not an image? Fine. What we will get now? So we are getting this, but it is very big. What we need now is give this a class name of styles dot logo for top bar. Come to style file. Let's nest it inside top bar. Width 40px. But the thing is, it is not transparent. So I guess let me just have it from somewhere else. We can do something in here, like if I make border radius 50%, it will be rounded. So basically it's fine to me. Let me make the width as 50px. But 50 is too much, 40 is fine for me. Now we have to add that, give some margin and some padding for it to arrange. And one more thing, after this we need a p tag that says dashboard. We have these things. Let me give this p a class name of top, styles dot top bar header, or top bar, let's say not top bar, styles dot title, or just header. Fine. So in here we can just add header. Font size I can make 20 px. It is big. The thing is, they should, or these two things, the image and the title, they should be in a single line. So make display of flex like this. Let's add a height, not height, a line items center, and little gap between them, 30px will work. Right, but big. So make 20. So we have to get the font from this. So let me use, or let me check what font. It is the Apple system font. So let me come to fonts.google.com. Do we have Apple system in here? No, we don't. So we can use this font, Bricolage Grotesque. Let me remove the existing font. Okay, we don't need to download it. Sorry. Let me choose light. Let me remove the notice sense, or let me just have them both. So yes, we have to choose light, regular, medium, semi bold, bold. Don't need extra bold. So import all of these fonts in our CSS. So we can do this in global.css. Now we can use our fonts in here. So what now we have to do, if I come to fonts google.com, we have Bricolage Grotesque. So just copy the font, add this in the header. Now the font has been changed. If you check the font in here, it is this font. Let me make font size, or font weight as 600 to make it bolder. It is now bold, but they should be not 20. Let's make it lesser size. This is done. The color of this is bright white, so make color as white. White smoke will work as well. We have this. Let me just add a cursor of pointer. It is done. Now this icon, and this has a little bit of margin left. So margin left 30 or 40px. The thing is, it will just make our, what is it, the entire top bar. So make padding left. This will shift the things from inside, just the items inside. So it has been done. We have dashboard and the icon. Perfect. Why don't I make gap to 15? It's working. Perfect. Now the next step is to have a search bar in here. So let me create a component for. So if I come to pages, or not pages, common search, or let me just make a input property or input component. We need two files, index.tsx. One more we need input.module.css. In the index, make it a functional component and then say common input. Import the styling file, import styles from this route. Save it. Now let me close the font here. Now we need to just have the search bar in here. So let me come to Tailwind, search for input at the top, text input. We can add this input with a border. So let me grab this, add this. Let me now have the input in the top bar. So let me remove the GitHub icon. I don't need that. Import common input from input. Let me just add this in here. Common input. So we should get a message, I mean input box in here. So let me come to common input. Give this input a class name. That is all. It is already having it here. So change this to template littles. Then wrap it in curly brackets. Now save it in here, or before that let me make a dollar. We can say styles dot, if we can say input, just input. So let me have input, add this input in here. Then what we can do is make the width of this to be 300 pixels. It is bigger. The height is less, so make height as 30px. What about this? It is smaller, just like almost like GitHub. And what we need to do, remove the, I mean decrease the font size to 16px, let's say, or 14px. Yes, it is small. Let me also change the background of this to be okay, it's not like this, but fine. So it is here. Why don't I just tweak this a little bit, like say this color. Perfect. Make the height as 40 then. Now it is fine. So the input should be on the right side, like somewhere here, that where my cursor is. So let's do that. To do that, we need to make a div surrounding the image and the p tag. So now we have this div and we will have one more div in here for the common input. Now come to top bar. We have align item center, make justify content space between. The input is at the very end. So we have margin, I mean we have padding left, say padding right, 40 or 30px as well. Now they are better. Search is and on the right, almost like GitHub. So if we are adding this kind of things, it will fixed, or it will be fixed. Now about this dashboard and the icon, these two things, let me add a property here called left. In the left, we will use display flex align items center. Let me use dot left in this div. So styles, this will be, I mean not styles, sorry, class name, styles dot left. They are done. Let me also have a gap that was here previously. Yes, it's working perfectly. We have dashboard, text, and the input in here. So we have to just change the input properties. So let me pass a title that will say type to search, or just we can say search anything. Basically, I'm making a better GitHub clone. I mean, making a better GitHub. Come to input, then let me have the title in here. Just pass title as placeholder in here. Save. We have to also create the instance, I mean interface of this interface. Common input, we can say title, which can be a string. So just add title, I mean this interface in here. Save. Everything is now perfect, working perfectly.